Hi, and thanks so much for joining us on the Great South East. Well, some people call it Ippy, others the Swish. Whatever name it goes by, the historic city of Ipswich is a wonderful place to explore. But you don't have to take my word for it. How about someone who was actually born here and happens to be the newest member of the Great South East team with my coffee? Thank you. Are you looking forward to having a look around?
Absolutely. I was born here. My dad was in the RAF at Amberley and I went to Raceview Primary School. So it's nice to be back, and I think I've got a pretty cool way to show you around.
Well, I'm looking forward to it after the coffee.
Absolutely.
Today, the whole team is discovering Ipswich. We're giving you all the inspiration you need to create your own itinerary, plus enjoy a weekend away in the charming heritage city. Luke and I have a few surprises in store, while Laurel's going green and getting a personal tour of 2 of Ipswich's 500 parks. But first, Al discovers there's a smorgasbord of dining options and opts for a taste of the town with a slice of history.
The gentrification of Queensland's oldest provincial city means that many of the beautiful old buildings have been restored to their former glory, or in many cases completely transformed. And for someone like me, this transformation has an extra dimension when I find out that the building's new lease on life is a restaurant, a pub, or, in this case, a cafe. That sound is music to my ears. Cafe Rafter Rose is the result of a desire to bring great coffee and food to the city of Ipswich, a desire long shared by aunt and niece team, Candy and Ellie. Candy, this is amazing.
I'm just a home cook.
Oh, shush. How did you learn how to do this stuff? This is dynamite.
I love doing it, so that's the battle, isn't it?
Rafter Rose is the gorgeous laneway cafe housed in the original premises of Cuthbert's Plumbing. Things have changed quite a bit since the mid-1920s, but one thing that has remained the same is the commitment to service. What's the secret to your success that will now no longer be a secret? What do you do? What are the little bits you do to create a successful business?
I think mostly we actually really like people. We love food, we love coffee. Yeah. So the standard we always wanted to set was to have really good service, really good coffee and really good food. Whoever comes through the door is just part of the family. So we want them to feel welcome, they can move furniture around. They can say, we don't like strawberry muffins, we like blackberry, and the next day I'll make blackberry.
When a cafe or restaurant gets it right, word travels fast, and this place has developed quite the reputation. So much so that in 2012, when the Indian cricket team toured Australia, Sachin Tendulkar, MS Dhoni and Suresh Raina came to Ipswich to have dinner here. Quite the rap. Indian Mehfil prides itself on its traditional menu, done intentionally to complement the building it is housed in, the former Bank of Australasia, which dates back to 1878. Jason, it would seem to me that the cuisine of your homeland, it speaks of generosity, it speaks of colour, but it speaks mostly to me of fragrance, the smells, just as I was coming up the street.
Yeah, so spices. The spices we use have different characters. There are some spices which give you good smell. Yeah. There are some other spices who give you good taste. So no doubt it smells good, but it tastes even better.
Is this exactly like at home? Have any punches been pulled here, or do you really believe you're taking people to your homeland?
We actually try to keep it simple and authentic.
Yep.
That's why we are here, and that's why we are successful in what we are doing.
And I can vouch for that. Indian Mehfil delivers simple, tasty food that stays true to its origins and enjoyed in a beautiful setting overlooking Darcy Doyle Place and historic St Paul's Anglican Church. Another landmark building in Ipswich is the Ulster, but unlike our previous 2 stops, it has retained its original purpose as a pub. Bev Johnson's family have owned and run the Ulster for 3 generations. Dan Dempsey, Bev's grandfather, an Australian Rugby League champion, held the first licence in 1934. Her father, Dennis Flannery, also an Australian Rugby League legend, took over the licence in the 1950s. And now Bev and her husband Peter run this beautiful old pub. Even though its purpose has remained the same throughout its existence, the devastating 2011 floods were cause to bring the Ulster back to its former glory.
And there was such a heritage here that we tried to, when we put it back together again, we put it back as close as we could to the 1910 building.
And actually the bar you're leaning on is the floor joist that spanned the cellar.
So anything that we could salvage that was salvaged and we've reused it. The walls are the same, the ceiling is perfect. The ceiling is as good a pressed metal ceiling as I think there is anywhere.
And is the Ulster going to stay in the family?
Yes, it will.
The Ulster is on the corner of Brisbane and Mortimer Streets and is open Tuesday to Saturday. Indian Mehfil is also on Brisbane Street, right in the heart of town, and is open 7 days. Rafter Rose is literally just around the corner from Indian Mehfil on Ellenborough Street. They are open every day except Tuesdays. There is a burgeoning food and beverage, hospitality scene in Ipswich. It's pretty cool.
We think that the more people who are doing the right thing with good food, good service and atmosphere, I suppose, the more people will be inclined to come to Ipswich and just see what a great place it is.
And just in case good food is not enough to encourage a trip to Ipswich, beautiful parklands and green open spaces might be just the thing. So hang around, because after the break, that's where you'll find Laurel with her own personal and local tour guide.